Want to know the difference between Roanoke and Charlottesville, Virginia?
Stay tuned and we'll compare the two for you. Hey everybody, I'm Hal Cohn.
And I'm Chris Cohn with Cohn Realty Group.
Welcome to our channel, and please make sure that you click the subscribe button so that you're going to be notified each and every time that we release a new video about living, working, and playing here in the amazing Roanoke Valley.
That's right. We have folks constantly contacting us saying they want to move here or within Roanoke, Salem, Botetourt, and surrounding areas. So if that's you or your family or friends, please get in touch with us. We'd love to answer your questions and just have a conversation. You can call us, text us, or email us.
Where you're looking to move to Virginia and you're really trying to dig in and find your spot. And a couple of those spots you might be interested in might be Roanoke and Charlottesville, because there are a lot of similarities in these two cities.
Definitely. I mean, I remember when we were looking for our home, should it be Roanoke, should it be elsewhere in the Commonwealth? Charlottesville certainly popped up because it's a cool college town. As a matter of fact, I will have you know, I found my ticket of Dave Matthews concert from Saturday, April 21st, 2001. But it's here, living amongst the Rolling Stones, Allman Brothers, Atlanta Braves, Sting, and Jimmy Buffett. So I remember that's my story with Charlottesville. It was a great concert, and it is a cool city. We've had a lot of our clients say that it's on their list too when they compare some places in Virginia, but they ultimately moved to Roanoke, and we thought we'd give you some reasons why that might be.
Let's start you off with just a little bit of history, because what's in a name? All sorts of things in a name, right?
That's right. Absolutely. So just comparing the two, Roanoke was originally known as Big Lick because of the salt licks in the area that attracted wildlife. That was in the 1880s, and now it is called Roanoke after a Native American word, which is the shell beads that the Native Americans used for currency.
And then Charlottesville, it was named after a queen. The British Queen Consort Charlotte of Mecklenburg-Strelitz. So, I don't know if I got that right or not, but I had to write it down. It's so stinking much.
How did you not memorize that? That was too much to memorize?
Yeah,
let me see that hand. Oh, goodness.
So not only do we want to talk about the actual names themselves of the communities that we're talking about with Roanoke and Charlottesville, but let's dig into a little bit more of the historical backdrop of these two amazing communities.
Yay, I love history, and both of them have their wealth of history. Roanoke was really a railroad hub, and back when the railroad was booming, it was called Magic City as their nickname. Now you'll often hear Roanoke referred to as the Star City because we have the largest illuminated man-made star on top of Mill Mountain. So that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
What a draw. And it still has a lot of nods to the railroad industry here.
Yeah, and as we've mentioned in other videos, Roanoke is definitely transitioning from a railroad town to more of a technology as well as healthcare center and hub when it comes to industry and things to do here.
That's right.
Yeah, and so let's transition from Roanoke to Charlottesville. So one of the things about Virginia is steeped in history, and one of the things that's really cool about it that I was kind of shocked about as we were doing our research for this was the fact that 8 U.S. presidents are from Virginia, and 2 of those actually lived in Charlottesville. That would be James Monroe as well as Thomas Jefferson. And then we were talking to our 3rd grader the other day who's learning history, and she was like, you know, that Thomas Jefferson actually designed and built this huge plantation, this huge home called Monticello, which many of you, I'm sure, have heard of and may have even visited, because they get like supposedly 500,000 visitors there a year.
That's
which
incredible.
Is just insane.
It is a very beautiful place to visit, so make sure you put Monticello on your list of things to see.
You can't move to a city without actually comprehending and kind of knowing a little bit more about the vibe of the city. So let's, the vibe. Ooh, yeah, baby.
That's so true though, because, you know, you can hear the facts, you can hear the statistics, you can even go and visit for a weekend, but until you really immerse yourself in the culture, you don't really pick up on that vibe. And some people get a different read than other people. So.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure as I visit it now in my 40s, versus my time when I was in my 20s when I visited Charlottesville, going to that concert. I might have a little different spin. I think still a good spin, but I would experience things in a different frame of mind, I think.
Yeah. So you want me to start off with Charlottesville then?
Sure.
Okay, so Charlottesville vibe, you know, you've got the University of Virginia there, and earlier when we were saying this, when we were working through things, I said University of Georgia. I mean, what was I thinking? But University of Virginia is in Charlottesville. So with that, you know, you've got an influx of students during part of the year and then an outflow of students during other parts of the year. And with that, you are going to definitely get a college vibe downtown and area. So you're going to have some good restaurants, you're going to have some breweries. They actually have the first in the United States sake brewery there. So if you like sake, that would be a great place to hang out. You don't have to live there to go check it out, but if you wanted to, and that was a draw for you, then that would be a reason, could be a reason to move there.
Yeah. So more of a college vibe.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be, you know, you're going to be active, you're going to have like concerts, you're going to have
arts and culture,
football games, basketball games, because, you know, I would say University of Virginia has a really good basketball team, football not so much right now. But anyway, so sports are going to be available to you, you're going to have arts and culture, and those types of things are going to be readily accessible in Charlottesville.
Yeah, so let's transition and talk about the Roanoke vibe. I think what I like to hear from our clients and people that visit so much is just Southern hospitality and beauty. So when you're here, it's kind of a slower pace of life, and you're really going to be soaking in this active outdoor lifestyle if you're into that. If not, we have some clients that really don't care for going hiking, biking, fishing, and they just want to observe it. So we're talking about sunsets, sunrises, beautiful off back decks, and you can just do casual strolls along the greenway. We have a really walkable downtown, and we have lots of shopping and lots of amenities right here. So I think the vibe of Roanoke is just this active valley that's set in this picturesque area that you have lots of things, like you still have arts and culture, you have a lot of food, and you have a great healthcare system too, so jobs and all kinds of stuff. So that's the vibe here.
One of the reasons we consistently hear that people are considering either Charlottesville or Roanoke is going to be quality of life, and for us that translates to outdoor amenities. In Charlottesville, you're near the Shenandoah National Park. However, here in Roanoke, you're immersed right smack dab in the middle within like 10 minutes max usually of an outdoor amenity of your choice.
Yeah, I like that smack dab.
Hey, what can I say?
People really rave about the air quality here, which I don't even think about anymore. But air quality and just visually how beautiful it is. And like you said, it's just a close proximity to everything. We are so happy to be close to Smith Mountain Lake, and that's over a 20,000 acre lake. And that's a great recreational opportunity.
Yes.
There's beautiful houses surrounding it. There's boating, fishing, all kinds of water sports that you can imagine. Super fun place. And also you've got Carvin's Cove, which is a reservoir, and it's actually the second largest municipal park in the US. And you can do a ton of things there. Horseback riding, biking, fishing, boating, picnicking, jump in anytime.
Let's see.
I think I covered it all. Hiking? Yeah. Did I say hiking? I don't know. Anyways, Carvin's Cove is an outdoor lover's paradise too. So whether you're attracted to the mild climate or just being able to walk out your backyard and go for a hike or go fishing on your lunch hour, we've got it here in Roanoke. It's an awesome place if you like a great quality of life.
Let's talk about location. So Charlottesville and Roanoke both have a great location here in Virginia and in the United States. Charlottesville actually is about 100 miles from Washington, D.C., and it's 75 miles from the capital, Richmond. So you're going to be closer to a more urban setting vibe. If you're looking for some of those amenities, then Charlottesville might be for you so that you can get more quickly and more easily to Washington and or Richmond.
That is really convenient.
Yeah.
Quick ride. Whereas Roanoke, being in the southwest area of Virginia, we actually boast being able to access 2/3 of the U.S. population within about a day's drive.
That's right.
So if you like road tripping, you can just carry yourself anywhere you want to go.
Yeah, that's right. And you got to love your car, because I mean,
that's true.
If you think about a day's trip, I mean, in my mind, you know, we have this conversation all the time. Like, we used to be like 8-hour road trippers.
Right.
And then we became like 4-hour road trippers. So if a day trip could be like 12 hours for you.
I blame the kids.
Yeah.
I blame my tolerance has gone down a lot. But road tripping is still super fun. And if road tripping is not your thing, we have a major airport here. We also have Amtrak train station, and we have bus terminals. So there's lots of modes of transportation.
Yes.
You mentioned Charlottesville being a huge college town too. Well, I have to tell you that Roanoke is pretty cool, because within just 60 miles, there's roughly 20 some colleges and universities.
Well, I like to just say that, so we've got, in Roanoke proper, we've got, or say Roanoke County, or in the Roanoke region, Roanoke Valley, we've got Roanoke College, which is in Salem. We also have Virginia Western. We've got the Virginia Tech Carilion School of Medicine, you know, by the hospital and in downtown Roanoke. And then you've got Radford not too far away, Farrell not too far away, and Virginia Tech, because a lot of people say, oh, like Roanoke is like Virginia Tech 2.0.
Hokie Nation.
Hokie Nation, yeah, because we're so close. And so many people leave Virginia Tech and then they plant their roots here in Roanoke proper. So once you decided on a new area to live, then one of the most important things, and probably one of the things, the biggest questions you have right now is, what is the cost of living in these two communities?
Totally. That is super important. You need to know if you can actually live there and afford to live there. So great question.
Yeah. So, and with that, the great news is that Charlottesville and Roanoke are pretty similar in regards to population, right? So Charlottesville is 150,000 people, and Roanoke, if you're talking about Roanoke City proper, you got about 100,000 people.
That's
so
right.
Pretty similar there.
So across the board, it's a little more expensive to live in Charlottesville when you're talking about cost of living, especially if you look at the numbers, really dig into them. Charlottesville, it takes about $5,000, would be equivalent to about $4,000 to live on here. So that's a good way, in my mind, to understand the difference in costs.
Yeah, and where do you hear us talk in our videos, where's usually the biggest cost difference? Housing. So with that, it's about 34% more expensive to rent an apartment or a home in Charlottesville versus Roanoke. And then we talk about actually purchasing power and purchasing a home. The median sales price in Charlottesville area right now is about $280,000, whereas the median sales price here in Roanoke is around $230,000. So $50,000 difference in just your median housing prices right now here in 2021.
Right, and when we talk cost of living, we're talking about a lot of different facets. Things like transportation, groceries, and then health care.
Utility bills.
Yeah, and then all kinds of stuff. So that all factors into play. So when you're thinking about not just housing, you got to take all those factors into mind too. And it seems like Roanoke is an affordable place to live. Yeah,
and if you look at it nationally too, as a reminder, Charlottesville is actually about 3 to 4% higher than the national average as far as a place to live. And Roanoke consistently comes in about 15% lower than the national average when it comes to cost of living overall.
Go Roanoke! Yay! All right, so if you're like me, I like to see everything in an Excel spreadsheet, lots of columns and rows, and weigh the pros and cons. Are you like that? He definitely is.
I am not. Overwhelms me. But if that's you, make sure you get the data you need and put it into your spreadsheet now.
That's right. You can do your research, find out about those places that you want to live and how they compare. And if you have any questions, or if we can help you answer anything about Roanoke or surrounding areas, we would love to help.
Yeah, call us, text us, email us. And then if you just want to know a little bit more about Roanoke, just to get an email from us twice a month, then make sure you subscribe to our newsletter, and you can do that in the comments. There'll be a link for that. And we would love to see you really, really soon. Bye.
Bye.